I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is February 25th, Wednesday, 2026. Hope you had a good day today. So we talked about, excuse me. We didn't talk about coughing. We talked about either being bearish or bullish, right? And we said it was suspect. We said it eventually is going to break out in one area. We also said that if it was bullish, it would need to see candles closing bullish consecutively. You got to watch these 50-minute videos. And as you see here, we had that Asia and London getting the higher highs and higher lows. So we have this breakout area, possibly. We have some imbalance here, right? Tagging breakout areas from here too. And I'm going to take this trade out because I've been waiting to get this. So this is the point of me doing this right now, specifically showing you this trade, lower leverage, of course, and all that of the uncertainty, but it's to show you that you need to be flexible in your trading. You need to be flexible. Let me see if I can get it here. I'm trying to get to this. I'm measuring this range from this higher low to higher high, coming back into it. The average daily range, which I haven't been talking about the last couple of days, is probably going to be 400, 25,400, because the low was, and I'm just trying to get out of this damn trade by now, dude. It fucking wicked me out. I mean, it wicked above. It didn't really, I'm not really getting the push. Let me see here. 1 second. Really don't care. But, yeah, I'm just going to leave it right there for a second. Even though it's unfortunately right on top of that high, probably could retest it or come underneath or even sink. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, taking forever for this trade is just like really testing my patience. But the reason why I'm showing this, there you go. That's what I wanted to see bounce up. If it goes any lower, I want to be out of it anyway. The reason for this trade and for this conversation is that, you know, if you notice the theme on the internet, the theme with me, even, well, we've been married to being bullish. And it's like, okay, well, if it's not going down, then it's going up for now, right? Okay, cool. That's fine. I know that sounds silly in it to everything to some people, but it's in reality, it's very true. And, that being the case with liquidity here built, and when we pushed up, we closed high yesterday. That's something I also forgot to mention. Also I took away that daily imbalance initially, yesterday I took it off, on February 4th imbalance. And now you can see it quadded over here. And then I have that daily imbalance here to the February 12th. This, and I minimized it here on the 1 hour. You can see it here, right? So I minimized this because when we were yesterday, we were knocking on it. So was this like used as resistance, sort of speak? Is this a bearish tool? And then we're going to roll over. Well, Asia and London just kept making higher highs and higher lows. So that's, I'm about to get stopped out, I think, right now. Well, maybe not. So let me keep going, because this is obviously my target here, is my minimum target. It's obviously above this high. And then once this high comes in, my goal is to get here or into the 25,400, but I don't think I'll make it. I was, you know, it's nice to have made it just this far with this slow ass shit, but majority of the daily range has already been printed is the issue. But anyways, so back to the conversation. This is it going to be used as resistance. So initially we talked about this lower quadrant in the big bearish daily imbalance, right? And then we had this bearish one here, right? So the lower quadrant is here. We've been inside that right here. You see that? And then even here, and then now even here from yesterday when we closed, again, we closed high. So that was the part that was a little suspect, but I didn't mention it. And of course, I didn't need to know. I didn't have to have the bias of being bullish. I can wait for them to show me. That's the point of this conversation, is that I'm flexible, right? So because listen, if you're listening to all the past videos, it's like, okay, we're bearish. This is a perfect example of not to be married to something. But here's the thing. I'm not saying we can't sell off from up here or anything. I'm just saying, you know, pushing up or not. So this ends up becoming a inversion. Take a look. If I cross over, all right, so it's in darker pink on purpose. Take a look. We were knocking on it yesterday. What did we do? We wicked and it started to look like it was gonna sell. But what did look? I'm gonna blow this up. What did this show? What did this price action show yesterday? Higher, higher lows, making equal lows, squeezing out really tough. And I always say this. I say, well, generally will make these equal lows to push away or equal highs to push down, right? Initially, then we'll maybe come back to it. And then you're saying, well, why didn't we come and get it 9:30? I don't know if this is what you're thinking. I'm just saying. But at this point, at 9:30, we're already bullish here. You're not looking for a retrace. It's already about to break through that last Wednesday's high and Friday's high. That's number one. Number two, but look at the 50% of that bearish imbalance. I said it was going to maybe be used as an inversion, right? On top of it. Well, look at when they slammed right here. They didn't take out that low, and then now the bodies. Look at the bodies. They're completely underneath. Above the 50%. So I'm walking into the day with this is what I'm trying to say. Let me move that back out. Okay. And then I also pulled out, the first imbalance from, the first imbalance from the PM session of yesterday, which is right here. You'll go find it where it is. I think it's the 131 candle, if I recall, but pulled that out here, and I need to use it a little more, but it's not that serious. But I didn't need it, but just to show you look at the fire here. Well, that was the 131 candle in here, and then boom, right here you see it. We're above the daily open today, right? The daily open level, and then look at the body sitting right on top on the 15-minute, dude. You can't make that shit up, bro. So we already got order flow up. That's algorithmic order flow with the support from there. And the inversion being used. And by the way, the purple in the background is obviously our current week gap. So obviously when we're above it, it's a bullish week, right? So look at it. And then now I'm glad we brought the week back up. Okay, is it gonna get me out now? You're just playing around, dude. This fucking day, dude, I swear. It was great. This here taking forever. Oh man, I'm wheezing. That's crazy. I haven't wheezed in a video in a long time. Oh wow, that's crazy. I gotta take my inhaler. Give me 1 second. Look at who do you know does it for free and takes an inhaler in between? Hold on a second. Okay. Shit, man. Cause I didn't take my inhaler after lunch. And then look at this. We pushing up more. And then I forgot to take my allergy medicine because of my dog. My dog is also my issue. I'm going to start squeezing up. We're getting to this area here. I was going to talk about the weekly work. I wanted to do this video before anyone on the internet does it, but anyways, let me give it a chance to go up. But I want to see that as a breakaway gap. So I was running up and down the stairs and shit quickly. What's it called? The weekly. I'm over it, to be honest with you. I'm going to, for here, I would really normally just get out right now. I mean, if we have more pushing the day, pretty much over it, man. I'm gonna leave it here though. Doesn't matter. So what was I saying? The weekly. The thing I forgot to mention yesterday is also we were looking like a little swing here, and also very possible that, as you see, if you look at the 50% of this wick, if we eyeballed it, notice how the bodies are all above the 50% of this weekly wick. Excuse me, from February 2nd. Okay, so that being said. I forgot to mention this, but I'm mentioning it now. And I noticed that shit more today, actually, like really a lot. And then obviously because we were already leaking up. So this is slithering up here. And if it's slithering up, then it's attacking. Obviously, once it breaks out, we're looking for this inefficiency in price. After that, it's on this up candle, squeezing as much as they can of the liquidity, and then and so on. And then this projection that I've had here, on this swing here. You'll see it on February 17. We had the 1 on 1.5, the 2 to 2.5. We were stuck in there. And then if it's going above that, well, then 3.5 to 4 would be your next agenda, right? Okay, so then I got this quadded here as you see it. And I'm just trying to give you the levels. Just don't mind all these, the green ones. The darker ones are more important to me. But at the same time, they're in the background. So I know it's just sloppy, but at the same time, anyway, so the weekly situation was that, and all the bodies like already above half of it. That was the key thing. And then I told you about this quadrant on this range here. If you look at the 25%. Now I said this in yesterday's video for sure. I said, oh, here we go. So are you gonna take me out? I think you're gonna take me out right now. Okay, cool. You took me out. So, what's the point? The point is that yesterday I said that the bodies were all staying above this 25% here, right? Also, in this down wick, this February 17 wick, you can go quad that, but we're sitting in the upper quadrant of that wick. See this daily February 17 wick? It looks like a reversal. It's not, it doesn't look, it is. Obviously we changed from it, how it closes back in like that. That's also, you know what's so funny is I made it just a hair tight, and then it's probably still going to rush up to right here. Anyways, because I'm doing the video and I'm trying to do this at the same time, whatever. I'm literally glad to be out of this fucking trade. Let's put it like that. But that's to show you, anyways, before I get there, that's a reversal wick, right? And that's a swing low. So is that. And we ended up making a swing low yesterday. So on the daily, when we look at this daily chart, notice that we're back and forth. But yesterday, which is Tuesday, we did not take out the low, but we took out the high of the previous day, which would be Monday. So that's already direction, right? You would have had to have seen a big drop like Asia, London here type of shit. You would have, if it was going to then be bearish, but that shit was over with. And as you can see, they're extending the limit, right? Over here on the overbought here. But I don't rely on this. This is fourth, fifth pieces of confluence. Anyways, so and then 3.5 to 4, I mentioned that. And then I went to Thursday's first and balance. That's why I still have it on here. So Thursday, when we had this big drop, I have the first and balance there. And then you can see the daily gap of that open on Thursday. Yeah, Thursday the 12th here, right? You see that? So that gap as well. You'll see if you extend that, we ended up using that as support when we bought up, which I won't get into this second, but this key level is very important to talk about. So now that I've mentioned all this, I talked about this, and then again you already have direction with that candle. We should already be down. We shouldn't be up here, and then that seals the deal. This price action seals the deal. So getting back into this price action here as it bull flags, it's when it works is when it's bullish. That's just why I call it bull flag. Then you push up here, and then now I have it quadded here, and then we'll get into the lecture now. 1 second here. They're still going to go to my target. Watch this. I'm telling you. So that being said, going down here, beautiful. All right. So how did I catch the buy? Well, so while everyone thinks it was going to sell from here to hell, I'm buying it because this is a buy, sell, buy day. This is why people don't remember daily profiles correctly. And as you see here, there is a gray gap here. So let me move this over. Fuck me. I gotta make this short. This is a gray gap here, and then this is the current week. This is an old week gap. It's actually from here, from Sunday the 8th of February here, right? So there's that in the background. And I have it quadded with this little quad here. You can't miss that, right? It's not hard to see, right? Then we have the big daily bearish imbalance. We've already went above this one, so I'm not even looking at this anymore. Matter of fact, here I'll even even delete it just because it's not necessary. Our price is up here. We've already used it as an inversion. We bounced up. So when you're getting into this scenario, and I've seen this plenty of times before, obviously, when you get this is a base. All right, this is the type of daily profile this is. It's a bullish day, but it's a base here first. We break out a consolidation and we're pushing up. That's why when the 930 came open, yeah, you have an opening range gap here, but it literally took off. These are rare days. So that's why I'm going to mention this very clear for you. It's a buy, sell, buy day. It's immediately a buy, sell, buy. There's no dump first, then a pump. I've been talking about it all week, right? So in this case, this is a pump. This is a straight birdie day, I call it. So it's a birdie day. And in that birdie day, you get the birdie price action here. And then you get a one retracement. And after that one retracement, you make a new high. This thing is definitely going to go higher. You'll see. You'll see it come to my target. You'll see. But fuck off. Whatever. I swear, I'm just so happy to be out of this damn trade. Wasting my damn time. Damn. Not even waste of time, but it's just kind of a waste of time. But anyways. So right here, when pre 930, you can see we've already are bouncing on the Asia range, right? And there's no news today, so I don't expect it to take out the low of Asia. When we're looking for the low of Asia, is generally more probability of when we have news. Now it's going now. You little bitch. See, my ego is involved right now. I'm just like, dude, I've been waiting all day, and then I get taken out right there. Fuck off, bro. I knew I put it by a hair too tight, but, I'm trying to focus on doing this stupid-ass video. All right? So, point is, well, it's not stupid, but you get what I'm saying. Where I have this squatted here, and then we have this bullish imbalance right here at 719 right here. You can see we're bouncing on it. Okay, I don't even think it bounces there, but it's support, right? We're in that gap that I've talked about, and in the background is the daily bearish imbalance, and it's quadded. That line right there. I can make this bigger just so we can say that it's, that's fine. It's no problem. I'm just really irked right now that I didn't hold it and I put it too tighter because I wanted to prove this fucking level. But see, this was really like my goal, right? At the minimum. But I wanted to get the daily range, but it might not even reach it. It might, again, that's why it's okay. It's okay. But hey, my ego is talking. So we got this inversion here. There's an inversion here on right here. This 830, right? You can see this, right? So the 830, and we're popped up. We came down to it. Look how the look how the wick. Look at this 919 stretches to the 50% of that old week gap that's in the background. Now we're above the current week gap, so it's bullish. Anything above here is bullish, and you would think, oh, why did 930 come to the opening range? The 50% and sweep this. That's what I would have done. Yeah, you're right. That's what I would have done too. But then they don't want to even give you an opportunity. They want to put you on balance. They want to put you on the offense. And how do you do that? You push it straight the fuck up. Why? Because we've already had this back and forth. Now people are making decisions based off of momentum, right? But that's okay. I don't have to push buy. And even though I could have pushed buy and I understood it was bullish here, we already got the order flow. So anyways, back to this. It comes right to the 50 of that gap, snaps right back to this inversion. So you got two pieces of algorithmic delivery going on right now, right? So that's coupled. You got this imbalance here, bullish and bullish. And watch how we end up using him as reclaimed as support. You fucking dicks. You fucking dicks. Oh boy, I swear. Anyways, see here? So we came below it, we came above it, these two imbalances, and then you take a look. You'll see the 50% is laying pretty much on that 25 quadrant of the big daily and bearish imbalance. That's going to be, as we're climbing up it, we're in a sense using it as an inversion. But I'm not saying it's an inversion yet, but I mean, it's pretty much, it's what it's doing. And you can see us on the 929, you can see us bouncing right on that quadrant right there. You see it? You can see that, right? This is not Too hard to see with the fucking pink in the back, is it? You can see that right there. Let me do this. I'm gonna do this. This is cleaner. All right. Yeah. It's like better for the eyes, right? See that? And then no bodies there. And then this down candle. See this down candle here? Just 919. Fire what I'm giving you. It's on the quadrant of this old gap here in the background. If I draw a line on it, it's a very high probability order block. Demand block. Boom. See that shit? So it's you got to see these details. And then also this inversion. See, this inversion is on that quadrant. So when we came above it, it's a very high probability that it's going to work. Dude, fire. But we shoot up. And then, now I'm going to move this because this is just annoying. Matter of fact, I'm deleting it. And then we have this suspension block. It's going to be reclaimed, a reclaimed suspension block. So we're not using it to sell off from there. Price is leading up. 930 ends up shooting the hell off. But look where the 930 is. It's literally laying inside pretty much that 50%. And we're getting it, we're reclaiming it, is what I'm saying here. Right? And the 930 is obviously a hair below, but it's fine. But that's the purpose of that. TMI right here, but we're now above that gap in the background and then the 25 quadrant. All right. I'm going to move that pink on purpose. I'm going to do the rest of this without the pink because this is just remember it's back there. Okay. So we push up straight, right? So when you see this, there's only two ways to get in. Either you're already in, you have a buy stop here, or you push market order and you buy. That's the only way you're going to get in here. Okay. That's number one. Number two, it is the first imbalance. Now I'm using this as the first imbalance. Why? For your notes, it's above all previous price action, right? And yesterday and today, generally speaking, more importantly, all of it. So because of that, I'm going to use that as the first imbalance. So here's another entry method. And why am I saying that? Because of the fact that, as you see, we just dipped right in there to a hair. Didn't come to 50%, didn't come to the upper quadrant. That's exceedingly bullish. And then what they do is they fan it. Instead of slithering down, they fan up and they birdie up. I call it birding. So you see these three drives. Oh, it's just three drives and it hit the 50% of the bearish imbalance. Yeah, the thing is trying to catch this. Not only is it risky, but it's the job isn't done to the left side of the chart. I'm going to zoom in here. And as you can see here, we have liquidity sitting right there, which is higher. We have imbalance right there. We have a breakout level from that area. And then we have that first imbalance from Thursday, which is what we're eating. As we're going up, we're eating it, right? So this is premature. Now, could it have retraced back? Yeah, but the thing is that you're bullish and I'm not looking for counter trends. So the profile, as back to the conversation, it was a base. It's a base first, and then you get a higher high and a higher low. You get one expansion and one retracement, and then you get the second final expansion in the day, which is what we are doing now, which is what I was catching. Right? This is the last expansion of the day. Then we close. Whatever they end up doing at the last moment, it doesn't fucking matter. But here, I'll even draw it because you're going to learn a lot, dude, from this. This is the base, so it's, obviously fucking around. And then we get out, and then you get your first higher high and a higher low, and then you get your finale. And then the day closes. That's a daily candle. That's your open, high, low, close. It's the first thing I teach when I teach. So it opened, you make your lows, you make your high, and then you close, right? So I'm catching this second piece. While everyone is selling this, I'm showing you on purpose where I'm going. So that there's no debate, right? Because if I was trying to show you a fucking sell, then I would be constantly trying to hold a sell from here, which I sold this too. I let it go, and then I sold it from here, and I retraced. And when I retraced and I sold this from here, I got it from these wicks here. You're like, how did you do that, bro? Right here. Look at the first imbalance of. I already have it on my chart right here. See this on February 12th, Thursday. You can see that I have it dragged out. My dude, let me close this up for a second. The 50%, and I remember when this happened, the first imbalance of Thursday in the AM session, the 50% is literally on top of the top 75 quadrant of that bearish daily imbalance. So they put them together so we can really use that as a key level so the algorithm can reference itself. It doesn't have to think hard. They put it together so that they can use it. I'm over here attacking it right to it, going right to it from the 50 to here. And then from here, I'm looking for the retrace. Why? I just gave you the drawing, right? So I know there's an expansion first and a retrace and then an expansion. And I also say it as if it was a momentum push first, then it's a buy, sell, buy. I already know that, right? Okay, if that's the case, here's my buy, here's the sell, and then here's the buy. Oh, really? So if that's the case, when someone is selling this, they think they're going to try to come all the way down here. No, that's not happening. It could have, sure it could. Anything can fucking happen. But it isn't that volatile. And you think, oh, well, that's a lot of movement. It's volatile. Yeah, but it's not. You're not going to get the movement. They've been trying to get out of this area without you on their nuts the whole time, following them. You think they're going to come right back to give you an opportunity? No. Fuck no. So that being the case, it's a daily profile. So once we fan up like this, I'm not looking at this as 3 drives. Even if you did and you took a sell, okay, cool. But what would you have done here? Were you going to hold it to come back in here? No. Or were you going to hold it down to get into here? Okay, maybe, but why would you countertrend when you're bullish? Okay, I have been talking about being bearish all this time. You just saw me execute a buy and take it to where I'm going to go. And I didn't have to know. I let them show me their hand, is what I'm trying to say, right? Okay. We came back into this area, 3.5 to 4. There it is. I've already had this on there. So if we were going to go lower, I already know my targets here. If I'm going higher, I already know the targets here. Right? It's already there on my chart. So yeah, it looks dirty, but okay. Anyways, so I'm beating a dead horse. Each down candle is supporting price. So it's working. Right? Now watch this. This is the fire part. When I sold this here, I sold it because we were the nested key level here that I talked about. Plus we have a 2 standard deviation on the Asia range. And then I did this today. I measured this high to this low. Remember this? Remember this low that we rated and then we broke through? So the low and the high, I measured that. And then we broke it and we came back in for the mean reversion. Remember that shit? So I'm measuring that right here. That was in yesterday's video. You can see the 1 and 1.5 is here. Look, when we hit the -1, we played around here. And then we blew through the 5. And then actually, by the way, when this was sitting here, this was sitting at the 1.5 about all this shit. And I knew I had the 50% here. So I knew it was going to go through, or it's already very strong in momentum wise. And then the -2 to 2.5 is here, right? So we're going to get into there before we get our pullback, is what I'm trying to say. And then after that being said, what was I going to say? So here, when I pull up, I'm looking for a simple retrace, right? So I get the retrace. You get a lower low, you get a low, you get a high, and then we break through it. How I did it was inside these wicks here. If you look to the left, god damn, I gotta show you here. I can't show you on both screens. Let me make this a 1 hour. Fuck, I'm gonna make this video long. I just can tell. See, this is what I'm trying to show you here. So I know that this is all in balance and we want to squeeze that. So look to your right. Look to your right. We already get into this last up candle. This is the 8 a.m. February 12th, Thursday, up candle. 15. This is an hour chart. Look at the open here. Fuck. Look at the open here. Oh, there. It's the open right there. Where's the open? The open is 356 and a quarter. 356. I'm just going to leave it right there. Look to the right now on the 1 minute chart. You see where do you see it? You see it? You see it? Do you notice how this candle right here, this reversal candle, this 10 o'clock candle, ooh, time involved. Okay. What does that mean? You're saying, what does that mean, bro? Okay. You're like, give me the sauce, bro. Okay. Well, we've already expanded. The 6 o'clock to 10 o'clock is already expanded. So the 10 o'clock, I'm looking for it to open, and I wanted to retrace to make the wick, and then I wanted to push up as the body to expand. Very simple. And plus the profile that I gave you. So once it pushes up and it's a pin bar, degrade the wicks. I taught this the last 2 days. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. You can go do it right here. This wick here at 50%. I want to see it, tag it, and then never go above it again. We get that here. So I'm already pushing sell, right? Because I have a ray to the left. I have a key level that we're working off of. Everything above it is just wicks because it's on a 1 minute. And I'm expecting just a simple logical retrace into what? Into an imbalance down here in the upper quadrant, not the lower quadrant. I'm not going to get that discount. They're not going to take these guys out. What are they going to take out? They're either going to come into this 945 this 945 imbalance, or we're going to come into the one below it, which is on a 5 minute. You can't see it on a 1 minute. Actually, you can. There is one right there. I'm going to draw in a second. It's right in between here. See this little space? There is that right there, and I'm going to refine it, but I'm going to go to a 5 minute just so you know. I'm doing this a video before anyone does it on the internet. So, and I've been done. As you see, I was done. Look at it, still fucking around, dude. Fuck off. You see what I mean? So when I was selling this retracement, I was like, where is it going to stop? Is it going to be this imbalance first, or is it going to be this one? Notice how this one is the one they used. Why? This one, okay, cool. They used it. You're getting some drives down. They end up sealing it, but it's a little bit too shallow to use it. Now, if it's a really birdie day, then, and we have so much more range to go, then it would have probably used this one. But this is more of a discount in between this quadrant and this quadrant. If I make it an eighth in here, you'll see where's the discount underneath that. Look where my mouse is. It would be underneath, right? So that was the situation that I was dealing with. Excuse me. And then retracing. But when I'm selling this, now here's what you got to write down. Here, when I'm selling this, I am making sure that I remember that I'm bullish. That's why I bought it here. How? Because I just told you. This whole time I'm counter trending and selling it. All right. I'm expecting this phase of price, the retracement, and then another expansion. Number one. Number two, I am remembering, because the old me, I would forget, or I would just not only forget, but I would just completely put aside to the fact that the daily profile is bullish. So what I would do is I would take this sell and I would try to hold it for hell. I would, we're coming all the way back down. Look at the equal lows. No. I am retracing to a reasonable place. And after some drives, look what they do. They pull up. Well, besides what I just told you about selling from here, we come down, we come underneath. To see this inversion is 958. This candle pushes up and it breaks that high. That I'm expecting it to use as an inversion. You see it right there in the blue right here. You see that? Then I also am using the fucking bottom quadrant. The upper quadrant. I want to see that use as resistance here. And that first imbalance from Thursday. Yes, I am using that fucking first imbalance from Thursday the 12th. It's right there. It's perfect. It's on top of each other. So we're dancing around the shit, right? Can't make this up. Bink. See how, and then right here, this 1006, there is a bearish imbalance. I did not draw that because It is literally damn near the same shit as this inversion here. But I want to show you this is more important. We tag. You see that, right? I don't need to go any higher, do I? You see that, right? You see how we tag the bottom? Look how it tags it twice. Dude, no one's got this on their fucking chart right now. I guarantee you. They might have this quadrant, but they don't have that first imbalance from Thursday, the 12th. Look. Tick, tick. Look how they're on top of each other. Ah, now you see it? You see it underneath? Damn, you're saying it's the same level. So, what do? Tag it. They drop. They get into this imbalance. Now, I'm going to draw this just so we're not confused here. Okay. And you're like, okay, well, which one is it? And I was wondering which one it was. So, came down, boom, gets into this. Now, initially, I take the trade from the sell to here, and I get out, and then I push buy. Because I'm looking at this as like a couple drives here, right? See that? We're respecting this imbalance, and this raids that, and it pops all the way back up. Higher, low. I'm like, okay, cool. But here's the thing. It was early enough in the day where I was expecting for an expansion. But the thing is that this is a little too easy, obviously, also. And it's shallow, right? So guess what? I end up taking the sell from here to here and getting out, and then I take the buy here. Now it comes up here. All right, we shouldn't be breaking all this if we're selling, but it still can make a lower high like this. Pops up, fails, starts to fail here, okay? Right here, starts to fail. We're still inside this key area, and then it fails. All right, big candle here, and then you get a real drive down, one more leg down. So this is internal, right? And the whole time they were just going to come underneath and get into this imbalance. Now I'm going to refine it. I showed you on the 5 minute that this is a 5 minute, first of all. Then I'm going to show it to you refined here. You can see it right here. And you're going to be like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, I know. Boom. You can't make that up. So I understand that. And the thing is when it's retracing back like this, it still even sold it down to here. You can see that the low here, this candle, this 944, look at the low. Generally speaking, they won't take out that low, this candle, this type of candle. In this scenario, they won't take out that candle. And you're like, oh, why would they come here? Because they're not going that far, bro. There's an imbalance right here. It's a breakout area. So piece of liquidity, imbalance, and breakout area. And it came a hair below. So this would have bought either right above that low of this down candle, or it will buy below it. And that's how you saw me get in the buy here. Go rewind it. You can see the entry. That's how I get in. It tags it, and then I'm immediately pushing buy. And then these next candles just float up, right? So that's a 1 minute that's refined and all that. So it's not a 5 minute there. But initially there was a 5 minute here and a 5 minute above here. So, hey, even though I know the profile, I'm not perfect, and I'm gonna lose and make mistakes, but I know when to stop. I know when to stop being or I need to know when to quit. If my shot lost 2 or 3 times at most, then you wanna walk away from the idea, wait for another setup. Period. If you're able to do that, I promise you'll be profitable. Because you're like, okay, well, I got a great analysis. I'm learning, I understand what it should do and what it's not going to do. So if that's the case, and there's moves every day, there's nothing. You don't have no fear of missing out on anything. You know that there's going to be. I know I'm going to get this fucking buy because that's the profile of today. And if it failed, okay, it fucking failed, dude, right? But I'm going to attack what I expect to happen in the market, right? What I've seen every day. As soon as this thing pushes up like this, I already look into my playbook and my models and know that I'm doing a buy, sell, buy day. Immediately. All right? Because it closing like that and follow through? No, this isn't a pump dump. No. This is bullish. Right? And then obviously everything we're going to eat to the left. Okay, now that I've said that, And then it sold off here. Okay, cool. And then what was it gonna say? So that explains all that. Then you have then you have this last down candle here. Bink. And then we pop above it. We're using it. See how they put that guy in there first to induce you to buy it. Then they tick it barely. Now it hit the open level. Perfect. What's the open of this candle here? Look up top. What's the open here? The open is 283. What's the low of this candle right here? The low is 282 and 3/4. So it went down one tick, and they do that on purpose. Why? For good measure. And I talked about this in that 55-minute fucking video yesterday. I talked about that same thing, about you'll miss it sometimes with putting a limit order and shit. And you could have, and just because it was a tick below, you still could, they still might have not filled you. So you might have even need to have raised your limit order 2 ticks higher even, right? Just to make sure you get filled. So, but anyways, that's TMI, but that's super fire. And then I'm measuring the retracement here. So the retracement, I have the average daily range is 400 points. So here's the other thing that I have not been mentioning in these past videos. To be honest, every day has damn near been around 400 points. And if you look at yesterday's low here, what was yesterday's low? We'll just call it 24,700. What's the high here? What's the high here? Almost. So 375 points was yesterday's range. So if yesterday's range was 400 points and the low was already here, this is where you're gonna find profitability or trades. And to show you I was bearish, I'm still buying now. I'm making buys here. Okay. You know that the range up here, from here to here, you have the other 200, you have the 100 points left in the range still, or 200, or whatever the number is, right? The same as going here, right? The low is what here? What's the low? The low is 993. Let's just say 25,000 even. Big figure. You also had big figure, by the way. So 25,000, right? Look at bouncing on the daily open. Gap right there. And we're above the midnight level anyway. But so if 25,000 even, well, if a 400 point day, where's 400 points? Look what the number is right now. 372. As we're recording this, 372. That's 375 points, isn't it? So why is my target right? So now we're gonna do it. You'll see it while we're in this video. Okay. So fuck off. I had to do all this time, and it came a hair lower, dude. Fucking dicks. So this is where I should have my stop here, and it still wicked me out. Funny. That's funny. And then notice we coming right back into look how we're bound. Look it. Look at the algorithmic flow. Buyers and sellers ain't doing that for facts. Quadrant and that first imbalance. Anyways, goal is to make a new high, and then instead of it being a -1 to reach to, look at that. That would be way higher than the average daily range that we're looking for. I'm looking for just 400 points. So I'm looking for 24,400, 25,400 big figure number, which is right here. Which is in between, it's in my circle here. And I'm circling the bottom, so a minimum target for it using this as a projection is a 0.25. So a 0.25 is old school TPs, right? I usually don't use this, but in this case, I'll use it this way because of the fact that we don't have much range left. So I'm getting like, where's my minimum here, right? And that's what I'm doing here. And then there's 0.5, obviously. And then there's -1. And then there's the high of oh my God. And there's the high of that daily imbalance right there. And then why am I saying that? You're like, why? Why is that important? Well, it's a gap. It's not a weak gap, but it's still a gap. And remember? Look at this. We sold right from that level. So you don't think they're going to come outside and reference that level? This is a key level. This is the next key level above. You'll see it. You'll see it. If we hit it today or tomorrow, I don't fucking care if we hit it. But that's a key level, and that's a piece of liquidity. and then you had the -4 up there. See this -4 up here? Look to the right. It's matching this half, and this was 0.5. And look to the right. It's 409. So that's a 400 point. You know, we're in that 400 point area, and I'm trying to get there. And the days we still have plenty of time of day. And I don't do the again. I try to make this video early, before so I could beat anyone to making their video. I don't want anyone to think that I'm copying anyone. So, and I do my own shit. And as you can see, the best traders out there, they have similar stuff to what I'm doing, obviously, right? So, anyways, so there's that, man, and we're still fucking around here. So let me go to and let me continue. Did I? 45 minutes. Fuck me. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. I don't want people to watch 50-something minute videos because the viewing has dropped a lot because of it being that long. Listen, just put me on 1.5 and you'll be fine, dude. That turns into a 25-minute video. So, you know, that's nothing. So put me on 1.5 speed and you'll be fine. All right. Anyways, and then VIX is just coming down the whole time. And then on a 5-minute, you'll see that we're just super manipulative right now. As you can see, they're doing all their might to be able to push this, and we're just knocking on the floor. So this wasn't helpful at all. Wasn't using it at all. Didn't need it. And then dollar is coming down. It helps us go up. And then here you'll see that we had okay, where are we here? So 930 is here, and I didn't draw it. I don't know why. I know why I was focused on something else. Raid here, lower low, and then we pushed up. Okay, so I already know of the daily profile what's going on for a buy, sell, buy day, right? And then once we get up here, that's how I take this sell for the retracement. The retracement, I end up seeing we have a lower high here with Dow, and then we ended up having a higher high with NAS. That's also the reason why I took that sell here. Okay. And then we retraced. And then when we retraced and we finally reached our level, which is where I bought, you saw me in the video, okay? We had a higher low with Dow and lower lows here. And we see how we tapped right into that imbalance on the 5-minute. So that's what I was looking. So that was the whole question. Was it going to buy from this 5-minute or that 5-minute? If you thought it was this one, like me, it's fine, you know. Or is it going to just dip a little bit lower? And 9 out of 10 times, it's going to dip a little bit lower. If it was a really birdie day, it would have took the first one though. And that's what I was assuming because it was so early. I didn't expect it to fucking go sideways all day. And that's just time distortion. Why? Because they're going to go up there, but they're going to take their sweet ass time to do it because of the fact that, dude, they just can't be going in straight lines. Otherwise, then it's going to be like, then what do we do? Right? So, you know, and it's just time distortion. Man, nice little response back up here. Again, we didn't really have the final verdict of bearish. It looked bearish and we were going to be bearish. And I'm not saying it can't be bearish from here, but I'm just saying that, we never really got those breaks. You know, we just were coming back deeper. We didn't break that low. All right, so we bounced back up into the range here, and it's just taking out sellers. Can it roll over from here? Yeah, it can. But I think it's just still sideways for the next week or two. So, or the next week we'll see. But the trade that I took, did I need to know? No, I let it show me what kind of profile it was. I even decided to let the fucking first move happen, and I got in sync with a sequence, right? I got in groove with it, like jump rope, jumping in and then, you know, waiting, then jumping in, right? So this is this. There's nothing really else to say here. And again, I want to make this shorter. This is dirty. Would you have liked to have traded this? I mean, kind of. I guess if you wanted to wait for the pullback, comes into their almost sealing their shit. They get into a breakout area here from yesterday. Not yesterday, from today. This happened today with Dow, right? Yeah. Breakout area. There's an imbalance right there to the, you know, hair underneath, right? Very similar. And and then you get a displacement here, a little shift, you get this imbalance, couple drives, that's the one that ends up going 50% gone, right? All right, moving forward, we have S&P, big response here. So this is showing you that we're okay. I mean, could we have bought this? Yes, but it's better to be safe. I'm not a swing trader, so it doesn't matter. And it really doesn't matter because you're gonna have to make new all-time highs first of all. And again, the seasonal data, that's the whole other question that I can't keep making these videos long, and you don't have the seasonal data. So if I'm talking about it and you don't see it in front of you, it's like, well, what the hell is the point of talking about it? But like I said, in these last 5 days of the year, on the 25th, I mentioned yesterday in the video that was long, I said we're most likely gonna. The seasonal data shows that it buys first on the 25th, right? It does show up on the 25th, and then we kind of linger around for the end of the month, and then in the first week of March we sell off hard. I don't care what asset it is, what year it is, it sells off hard. So go back to the 23rd video. If you go look on the 23rd video, I'm going to pause this and go bring it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. On the 23rd, today's the 25th, on the 23rd I made projections and I drew them. So I'm going to go to it right now in a second, but nice response here with S&P, and they're trying to get to all those sellers, man. And then that's really it. There's no, so here's a pump and dump, and they come right back to the 930. So the S&P, they came back into their 930, right? So we didn't get that, obviously, and that's another factor of how strong our candles were, and the price action of it. Higher high and higher low, really tight, compressing. And then, we weren't getting that. So everyone in NASDAQ thought it was going to come back here. And I knew that. Otherwise, you wouldn't see me fucking buy it right there. You wouldn't see me buy it right there and take it above. Very clear what I've done. And look they still haven't hit it. Fuck you. Oh, it's so funny. And then we also had this. Obviously, when we were sitting here, it's like, okay, this is super resistance or support type of situation, and then we finally broke through. So this is also giving me, okay, we broke through this, right? So it's back to bullish. And then when I talked about it, generally when we have this type of situation, it'll retrace. Okay, well, in these cases we retrace, but guess what? It still, in a sense, could be early, right? So we could be in a situation like we're right here, right, where we made a high and then we retrace back and then we come back up and we're up here, and we never make a new high, but we come up here to sell some last minute squeezers, right? Sellers, and then we fucking dramatically come down. That could still happen, right? But because it took so long, this became almost the retracement. Like this became almost a retracement. You're not getting in here, right? They're trying to promote breakout trading, and then now we're up here, right? So in my sense, I think we're back to bullish, but don't be surprised if they pull the rug. And also another thing, we're generally going to push up one more time before we actually come down if we are bearish. So it's very similar to 25, right? So where was 25? Here. Right. So we did all this fucking around. You're like, okay, what are we doing? And then it's like, oh shit, we're coming up. We took out the previous lower highs. We're coming up. And then they drop it. And in this case, it'd be like, you would think that would be it, right? Oh, we're coming up for these lower highs, and then drop it, right? So that's still in the card here. And to be honest, it's still a consolidation. It's still neutral. And you have to trade accordingly. And that's why you see me, I'm lowering the leverage, because it's very, very hard to understand which way it's going. And I don't trade Asia, and I'm not going to sit like a crackhead through those time frames. So, but this is like, if it was a 1 minute chart, this is basically just slithering up here. This is how I know to take a buy. So I took a buy when I was the other bias all this time, and I'm flexible to go the other direction. That's growth. That shows you growth. That shows you experience, right? So And how do I know all this? It's experience. And for anyone new here, I'm sorry. It's experience. Like anything in life, it is what it is. I mean, the longer you've done something, the better you're at it. And you're fine if you just keep working at it and don't go on tilt, and you take only 2 shots for each trade that you expect. If this fucking ain't working right here, if this buy ain't working right here, it's over. You don't want to. I'm not trying to keep buying every time it's falling. I'm giving a couple shots, and if it's in a key area that as what I've explained here. Like, it has to buy from here if it's fucking buying in this section. If it doesn't, then I'm going to look to this. Remember, I refined this. This was a 5 minute, so don't forget, right? But I can see that little space. But I mean, again, it has to buy in these 2 shots. If it's not, okay, I lost a couple times. It's no big deal. You know that I'm going for 10x. I'm going for 10R. I'm going for 10R. I'm not going for 2R in a fucking little ass candle. I'm not going for that. My stop loss isn't 100 points. I don't need it to be 100 points to know if it's wrong, right? Do I need to enter here and put a stop loss down here? No. Why the fuck do I need to do that? I don't need to do that. I mean, if someone else wants to do that, go ahead. But that's silly. I could just use these. I could just use the structure that I have here. Definitely made this over 50-something minutes. Fuck. It'll probably go. Okay, and then also that quadrant, it's laying on that 25, and then that's how I use it as a inversion at first. It comes down. Let me see, what else can I mention here? If you go to an 1/8 here, you'll see that this probably imbalanced right here. Nice, we tap into it, we're digging into it. I didn't draw it. I mean, I can make videos long, dude. All right, you see that? See this? It's not even perfect, but you see this? See this guy right here? This 1058? It's on a quadrant. It's on this quadrant, right? That's an 1/8. That would be an 1/8, right? So in between here. What am I missing? Version there. And even if you quadded this, you'll see the top 25. Talked about that in yesterday's video. These consecutive down candles here. I'm not going to go into too much detail. There's just not really much else to say here. Tagged into there. Put that guy on purpose. Then they came and snagged it. Fucking dirty. And then they came back almost deep enough. Look at the body. The body is stopping right close to the 50% a little bit. Nah, it's a little hair below, so it's not that perfect. But just a little dirty right there. And by the time this day is over, it's only 3 o'clock. It's early. So we'll probably hit this 0.25. The 400 level. And then I doubt if they end up getting up here. Pretty much the day's over. But all right. Am I missing something? Oh, I was going to do this. 1 second. All right. Getting up. All right. This is made on the 3rd here. I talked about 23rd. So I talked about we're going to want to see higher highs and higher lows, and we ended up kind of getting that. And then to come up and get into the 5-year especially comes all the way from this is yeah, so go back to the 23rd. I talked about this. Higher high and higher low. What did we do? We bought from here and we came right up, and we're up here right now. Actually, while this video, it doesn't do this. This is the 30. All right. So go watch it from this time frame up into here. You'll see shows that we do all this and we don't push up as high. So the 15 year to 30 year, don't push up as high. But then we playing around sideways, literally. So I see, remember when I drew this, we came up into this area. This was yesterday now. We're here. And then I was like, well, it's either going to come up here and roll over or it's going to roll through. So this is basically what I was talking about. And you're seeing that other option. What do they both have in common? Coming back up. Now it's March. Now, okay. What's another option besides this? Well, we just sold off from over here and we could have done that, but they saved the market, dude. What do you want me to tell you? That's the normal world of being bullish, right? Where we don't. And imagine I have these understandings. So we end up pushing back and then we Let me. So that being said, yeah, as you can see here, right? I made the video here, didn't I? Didn't I? I think so. Was it here? 23rd. Yeah. On the 23rd. Yeah, I made it right here. So we didn't roll through. We went up. So here's your higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right there. You see that? You guys take care. God bless.